Okay, folks, it's another Specker review. Yes, I am having a baby, and being that I'm a father of an expectant child, um, I don't have a lot of money. In fact, I've got next to no money. I can't spare any money. Um, and that's why I can't do any reviews really, because I can't afford to buy anything. However, this was very kindly gifted to us from my auntie. She decided this was her contribution to the baby. So, without further ado, this is the Motorola MBP36 wireless video baby monitor. Now, normally I wouldn't do anything of a review quite like this type. But the fact is that it's a gadget and I'm a geek, and I thought I have to try this out at least, give it a go before the baby arrives. So I unboxed it and checked it out. Now, I'm not going to do an unboxing here because, to be honest, this box was a pain in the backside to try and open and get out this nonsense. It's kind of weirdly wrapped around the packaging, it doesn't just pop open easily. So I'm not going to unbox it. I've taken everything out of the box. This is what you get. You get this, which is the parent unit, which is the screen monitor device. This is the camera, and you have two power supplies. The camera itself, so this is not a massively high quality camera. It's 300,000 pixels, so it's not even a megapixel. But that doesn't matter because you're not using this camera to take photographs of your child. You're using this camera to keep an eye on your child. You just want to get a rough idea, and to be honest, the picture quality you're going to get from this, it's fine. It's more than usable. It's more than doable. It's absolutely fine. No problem at all. Imagine the resolution of some older webcams, and you could still see things pretty good. So that's the situation with the camera there. Now, specs wise, things you might need to know about what it does, what it doesn't do. So we'll go to the parent unit first. This is the parent unit. It's a 3.5-inch diagonal screen. It's a full color LCD screen. And it also acts as a baby monitor even if the screen isn't on. Now I'll show you that a little bit later. This device is rechargeable. Under this door there's a battery pack. I've already installed it in there. It's much like the kind of thing you would find in a cordless phone at home. And on the back of the unit, other than that, you've got a small pop-out stand for it to sit on the table next to you, and also the antenna, which flips up. From what I've discovered is in the house here, we have no worries about signal. It works perfectly even when that's down. And on the back there is your speaker. So really straightforward. On the side, you got your power port, and like I say, this is rechargeable, so once you've charged it up, you can unplug it and take it around the house with you if you need. Now, I've also noticed it's got an AV out, which looks like a mini USB. I haven't gone onto the internet really to find out if it's possible to get a cable that would plug into this. I'm assuming you'll get a cable that would connect to your television, and you can have the baby on full screen, big screen if you like. But I'm not going to go into that just yet. I really don't think I need to embarrass a child that much by having their picture blown up at 46 inches. Then you've got the camera here. Now this is a remote control wireless system which allows for pan, tilt and zoom. So what that means is, because it's got the round base here, the camera will rotate, will go up and down, and has digital zoom to be able to zoom in. It's not optical zoom, but trust me when I say it's more than enough to see what you're being able to do, and I'll try and show you that on a video a little bit later on. On the front there is the small hole there, that's a microphone, and also the little arrow there points to the center point of the camera. That's the very center where it would be pointing dead on. Around the sides here you have a little marker there, and that shows the maximum rotation that the camera can do. On the side, you've got your on-off button here. This is not rechargeable, so you can't use this completely wirelessly. It does need to be plugged into the mains to be usable, which plugs into the back here. And then you've got your antenna and this cable, which I don't really know what it's for. I actually think this could be the thermometer, and I'll tell you about that a bit later on, but I think that could be the temperature sensor. Then you have two power supplies, and they've gone down the route of assuming you're stupid. and I like it. I think that's better, because to be honest, if men get a hold of this, they're going to say, hey, I'm going to start playing with it immediately. I want to try it out, because that's what I did. And so they've gone down the don't be stupid route, even if you do just go jumping straight in, as you have a power supply for the parent unit, a power supply for the camera. The reason they're labelled separately is that the power pins are different sizes. One very small and one not so small. So you can't get them wrong. Even if you try and plug one into the other and you say, wait a minute, this one won't fit. Why not? You don't have to look at instructions to realise why. You just have to look at the power supply. So, kind of idiot proof there. So I'm going to show you what it's like to use for the screen and the camera. So I need to stop the video and go and get this plugged in, and I'll let you see what it's like. Okay, so we're up and running now. Unit's not powered on yet, but it does show you that it's charging. So you can see that's going up there. It just gives you a visual representation of what's happening. That only comes on for a few seconds while it's first on charge, and you can see there that's showing the little lightning bolt on the battery there, shows you it's charging up. So to switch it on, little power button at the top there, press and hold that for a second, and we're popping up now. So I realise my lens may need a little bit of a clean. I'm sorry if there's a bit of a haze. So at the moment it's saying that it says up here, can you see that? Cam 1. It's looking for cam 1. The camera is not actually switched on now. It says no signal, and there you're showing the battery level for charging. So I'm just going to reach over here and switch the camera on. Now it does... Whoa! I forgot about that. We're so close that the microphone from the camera feeding into here, the sound's coming out here, going back into the camera microphone, going back here, and we get feedback loop. So try not to use these too close together, or if you are, make sure the volume's turned down on this, otherwise you're going to cause some really spooky, weird sounds. So as you can see, while I'm talking, the lights here are bouncing up and down, and that's your visual representation for any audio that the microphone's picking up. It's a good high sensitivity microphone. I really like it, because it hears pretty much everything you need to hear, or that you're expecting to hear from your child. And like I showed you there, you can turn the volume up and down on the parent unit. And like I said, because it's rechargeable, you can unplug this and continue to use it just on battery alone. So that's quite handy. Now, range of this, they say, according to the box, it's up to 300 meters range, but that will be line of sight only. When you're in a house, that's probably going to be down to about 50 meters. But I've used it from one end of the house to the other, and I got absolutely perfect picture and sound quality, no problem at all. And that was a good 5 or 6 rooms away. I would say at least 30-40 feet between walls as well. So pretty good. So we'll go over the main functions. Now I'm just pointing the camera at the box up there, so that's what you're seeing on screen. Now the first thing, before pressing any menu buttons, you've got up, down, left and right here. And it's quite self-explanatory because the camera can be moved. By pressing that, you can see the pictures going up and down and left and right. Really, really dead simple. No problem at all. The other thing that's nice, if you listen, is that the motor in the camera, they've obviously thought about the impact that noise might make on the child. So the motor is extremely quiet. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear it, especially being recording on my phone, but it's really quiet. Really nice. I like that. They've thought about that. So what other buttons do we have on here? Well, that's the menu button, an OK button, which I've not quite figured out why you would have an OK button, because it seems that as soon as you highlight a particular item in the menu, it just automatically selects it. Anyway, this is the picture button. You don't always have to be looking at the baby. You don't always have to see everything that's going on. So, because you've got the lights up here, you don't have to be looking at the camera all the time. You might want to save some battery if you're going to be running it without being plugged in. So by pressing that button, screen goes off and you've just got your your visual representation of audio there, so you can tell. And then if the baby's making a noise and you want to check, a quick tap on there and it's an instant picture back on. So that's nice and simple. The other feature is down here is a microphone button, and this hole here is the mic. You can talk back to the baby. So this will always be, this camera's microphone will always be picking up audio regardless. It doesn't need to have any buttons pressed, doesn't have to have any setting up. It just works. But with the parent unit, you do need to press and hold, and it's like a walkie-talkie. Press and hold on there. You could hear the feedback was coming through there. But we've tried this with the audio. I've had it with my wife through the house, and she's been able to hear me no problem. I've been able to hear her no problem at all. It's not incredibly loud, but that's a good thing because you don't want it to be really distorted to worry your child. What else have we got on screen here? Up the top there, we've got the signal. So that shows you how strong that signal is, and you can tell if you're going to be going out of range, which camera it is. Now, the reason it says Cam 1 is because you can add up to 4 cameras to this parent unit. So that doesn't mean 4 on top of the one you already have. It's 4 including the one that comes with the unit. Again, I haven't looked into how much those additional cameras are, but at the moment we'll be quite happy with the one. Then along the top here, you've also got the temperature, 19 degrees C in here. We haven't got any heating on at the moment, so it's actually not too bad, to be honest. And again, I showed you the battery before. So we can go into the menu, and the first thing you get is the volume. That's what I turned down when the feedback went, and you just have to press up or down. Simple as that. No pressing OK. I didn't see OK really doesn't do anything there. I'm not sure. Not sure about that. Your next option across there is the brightness. That's just the brightness of the screen on the parent unit. Adjust it to however you like. Then over here, these are lullabies. If baby's having a hard time sleeping, maybe you don't have a mobile, maybe, you just want it to play, have some music going, you don't want to come through and sing it a song. Well, just select. That's quite good, isn't it? So there are 4 lullabies to choose from. I don't know what they're called. I don't know anything about them. So you can choose which one you want to play. You can have them all to repeat and go one after the other, and then go back to stop. You see, I didn't have to press OK there. This OK here for that part. I just realised what OK does. Oh, alright, well, I didn't research it all that much, obviously. And that's the volume for your melody, your lullaby. Oh, that's much better. Oh, I like that. Oh, okay. Well, we're both on a learning curve here, obviously. This is your digital zoom. Now, see, it's actually gone into night mode there. I don't know why. But, as you can see, that's really bright there against it, and you can see the shadow behind. That's picking up the infrared light. It might actually show up on the camera here. There are a ring of infrared lights. Oh, you see, it's gone off now because it got light again. I wonder if I can trick it to going dark. Is it going to dark yet? No, it must have a light sensor on it somewhere. Alright, now you see it just switched on. If you look at the lights around there... Oh, it's trying to play with me now. Damn you. Okay, I'll show you that later on. But that ring of lights, they are infrared. You can't physically see that light coming out of it. The camera picks it up because it's not shielded against infrared light. But they display a light. The camera can pick that up so you can see the baby in darkness. The only light you will be able to see while this camera on is that small green LED at the bottom, and it's a very dim green light. It doesn't shine bright, and again, I must assume that is so that it doesn't interfere with the child. Not going to light up the room, doesn't need to light it up. So where were we in the menus? That's your zoom, yes. So at the moment it's on 1x zoom. and we can increase that to 2. It just gives you a better picture. So if we come out of the menu and move the camera again, the movements are more exaggerated there, but there's an example looking at the text on the box. We'll go across, back to 1 times, and zooms out again. So that's quite good if you want to get a better picture of what baby's up to. Over here, and then over here, that's your camera menu, and what that's telling you. Come on, zoom, get focus. All right.
This
we
is
can
a
delete a
feeding
camera,
alarm.
add
You
a
can set
camera,
it to
view the
repeat
camera,
between
scan
2,
for cameras.
4, and
Simple,
6 hours.
really simple. At the moment, we've
I
just
had
got
to
the one,
redub
so
this part because I got
that
it
menu
wrong.
is no need for me. And then here, your temperature, you can have in degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit. We're in the UK, so it's Celsius. And that's basically it for the parent unit. Now I'm going to show you night mode properly. So let's give that a try. Okay, all the lights are now completely off in the room here. It's absolutely pitch black, and if it wasn't for this screen giving me some light, I wouldn't be able to see what I was doing at all. However, the camera, I'll give you a look at that properly now for the infrared lights. So you can see them. They look like they're showing up on the camera properly, but I can't see them at all. There's nothing. It's completely dark other than the small green LED. I can see that, but it's really dim. But you can see me perfectly on the screen there. You know. So the night vision works fantastically well. Really, really like that. So that gives you that example. I'll show you on the screen here. Just a bit brighter. You can even see it's reflecting off of there. Now I gotta remember where's the up and down button and which one's left and right. Oh, okay. There we go, up. There. So you can see the light that's being shown on the wall. It looks like someone's pointing a flashlight at the wall, and that's simply the ring of light coming from those infrared LEDs. But if I move this out of the way, there's no light at all. You can see absolutely nothing. So that works fantastically well. But as soon as you get a decent amount of light in the room, that will switch off and it will switch back to standard mode. So I think next I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the sound quality from the camera. And what I'll do is I'll take the camera through to another room. I'll turn the parent unit up and you'll be able to hear my voice and get an idea of the clarity. So we're going to do that. Okay, I'm speaking to you now from the other room through the house. And this is the level of audio that the unit picks up. Now I haven't turned up the parent unit up to full volume. I'd say it's about 60% or so. And this is the kind of audio you would hear from a person talking. Now I realise that my voice is obviously going to be much louder than a baby, but small noises, and it's able to pick them up quite well. So you shouldn't really miss anything while your baby's in the room. Again, those little lights will pop up and let you know if any sounds are popping up. So, now, I should mention that if your camera unit goes out of range, apart from getting the signal bars up at the top, if this doesn't get enough range, obviously it won't be able to pick up the camera. So I'll switch this off and let you see that once it is out of range, it does give you a warning, and that also lets you know if perhaps there's maybe a power cut, or if you've blown a fuse in your socket, things like that. It will continue to beep like that until the camera is either switched back on, reconnected to power, or back in range. And it only takes a few seconds from that to switch on to being reconnected again. No buttons to press. It just reconnects nice and smooth and easy. So I think I'm going to show you now is what it sounds like for the audio from the camera unit to come back. So with the parent unit talking to you. So I'm going to leave the camera just here and I'm going to unplug this camera unit. The parent unit actually. And I'm going to step outside the room and I'm going to use the built-in microphone to let you hear what that sounds like as well. And we'll hopefully you'll be able to hear something. You see, look, you can see the lights now. Oh, they went off. they're playing with me. They really are playing with me. I'm talking to you now from the other room through the parent unit to let you see what the audio quality is like. And as you can see, that's what the camera looks like. It's kind of spooky, a bit sci-fi-ish, that I'm able to look back at you. But there you go. There you have it. That's my short review of this Motorola MBP36. Price-wise, well, at the time of me putting this video on the internet, which is end of January 2014, I've seen them anywhere between £100 and £150 just by doing a quick Google search. So you may be able to find it cheaper. I believe this was purchased for about £150. But I've seen a few different cameras, I've read some reviews. This one seems to get really good reviews. I'm really happy with it so far. I'm looking forward to trying this out with my baby when it arrives. So, if this was any use to you, if you liked the video, if you have any comments, any questions, please leave them down below. Friends or family who are interested in buying one of these, or if you're looking for something to give someone as a present, tell them to check this video out first, and it gives them a better idea of what they're looking at. Other than that, thanks very much for watching this review. I will try and find some other things to review very soon. Take care.